is I, your favorite. Am I your favorite? You've never even once said anything to indicate whether or not I'm your favorite or your only. Kind of hurts, you know. I'll get over it. I really will. Why? Because if I don't, you and I are going to have a problem. Anyway, Muse. So, look. Mystery of Irma Vep opens a week from today. And I'm confident, but it's still a nerve-wracking endeavor because it's a two-person show. There's a lot of lines to memorize. And, you know. But anyway, that's not really what I want to talk about. Why do I mention that? Because as soon as that show closes, actually as soon as it opens, I can start writing again. Yay! And I've got a lot of stuff in the queue. I've got to finish Beautiful Complication. See how easily I'm recalling that name now? And then I'm going to start a brand new series. I'm going back to the post-apocalyptic genre for a series for Devil Dog Press. Yay. Double thumbs up that one. This morning, Muse, I was putting dishes in the dishwasher. Actually, no. I was taking dishes out of the dishwasher first. You can't put new dishes into a fully loaded dishwasher when they're clean. You can, but you shouldn't. Anyway, I'm not here to give you tips on the mundane. While I was loading the dishes out of the dishwasher, for some odd reason, a Fleetwood Mac song came into my head. Now, I respect them, but I'm not a fan of Fleetwood Mac's music. It's just not my type. I don't dig it. I tend to lean towards harder, more complicated stuff. But for some odd reason, I don't even know the title of the song. I think it's Circle in the Sand. I don't know. But I can hear... I can't even think of her name right now. I can hear her singing the song. And I don't know why the song came into my head. But as the song was ringing about in my head, I started wondering, actually, what happens, which is very typical of a writer. A video started playing in my head. I don't know if there's a video for the song. I've never seen it if there is, but the video started playing in my song of a woman in a nice big flowy dress or skirt or whatever, something that she would wear, you know, big old scarf around her. You know who I'm talking about. I still can't think of her name. Anyway, so she's walking barefoot along the sand on the beach, and she comes across a circle drawn in the sand. And she looks around, and there's no one about. No one. It's just this circle that happened. And she can't explain why it's there. But for some odd reason, in my head, I pictured this actually happening. And the singer thinking, okay, there's a song in there. Where did this circle come from? What does this circle mean? It has to have some sort of deep, profound meaning, that there is a circle drawn in the sand and no one here to draw it. Was it drawn for me? Is it a message? Did aliens do it? I don't know. Anyway, I'm not here to discuss the meaning of the song. I'm more here to discuss the inspiration for the song. I get asked this so often. Where do I come up with my ideas? Well, obviously I get my ideas from you, Muse. I do. I really do. But on those occasions, on the very rare occasion where my muse is not talking to me, actually, I'm going to say this. My muse, you, muse, talk to me in different ways. It's not like you always just tap me on the shoulder and say, Here's an idea for a book. Write it. It'll be great. And then you spell out the idea for the book. It's not always like that. Sometimes, Muse, you will guide me through the waters of humanity and point me in the direction of something that will make me go, oh, that right there. The way that tree is fighting against this blustering wind. And although it is rail thin, it is standing straight up. What is it that's holding that? Hey, maybe there is truly some invisible force in the environment that when something like this occurs, it stands up against that wind to make sure the tree lives. And what is that invisible force? Is it a creature? Is it an alien? So that's what happens. You guide me. You point out. You point me in the direction of the thing that you want to inspire me. But here's the kicker. I have to be open to that. I have to be constantly open to the idea that inspiration is around me in 360 degrees and that nothing can escape my vision, my hearing, everything. I have to have my senses 5 open to the possibility of inspiration from anything and everything. Now, yes, I do get a lot of inspiration from music and things like that, but I also get a lot of inspiration from inanimate things, the placement of certain objects in nature. Or not even, doesn't even have to be in nature. Like this morning, once again, when I was unloading the dishwasher, I placed a glass, I nested a glass in another glass, and the glass was kind of tilted a little bit. And I stopped and I looked at that and I said, is there something in there? Is there something in the formation of those glasses, in the way that that one glass is holding up that other glass? Is there something there? Now, eventually I realized I couldn't come up with anything, but I do that a lot. And sometimes life kind of stops in that moment so that I could go, there's something there. Something is trying to tell me that there is depth to what I'm viewing, and that I need to take something from that and let it inspire art. I mean, you hear about it all the time. Visual artists. I was watching something on I think it was 60 Minutes the other day about an artist who, it was a great story. It really was. I don't even remember the guy's name, but he was a hairstylist, just wasn't going anywhere, and this is great. This is how it works. He was doing a perm. Now, as a former hairstylist, I know about this. He was doing a perm, and there are these little things called end papers. End papers are the little translucent kind of papers that you wrap a perm rod in so that the hair will stay around the perm rod. And then you pour the solution in and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, he was doing a perm and an end paper fell out of his hand and dropped to the floor. And he looked down and he saw the papers are translucent. What is that? There's something there. I can use that for something. And eventually he used those for art. And eventually, took a long time, but his art started to sell. Now his art sells a lot for a lot of money, but he uses these. He gets these giant pieces of paper, and he'll create this big canvas of I can't even explain it. It's like he uses different textures and such, and then he places the papers over it and rolls them on, and then he lets it all dry, and then he starts ripping it apart. And what comes out of that is the art. But this would not have happened. A career would not have been launched had it not been for he being open to this inspiration. And the simple act of an end paper falling to the ground and him seeing it there, all translucent, and letting the floor, whatever flooring was there, to shine from below. Had he not been open to that, he would not be a millionaire right now. So, the moral of the story is as an artist, which writers should strive to be artists. I have always believed this is important. Back when I was teaching acting, one of the most important things I always told all of my classes in the very beginning is that I am not here to teach you to be an actor. I'm here to teach you to be an artist. Because from my perspective, being an actor narrows your focus. And instead, if you focus on being an artist, that focus gets widened. So as a writer, your goal should be to become a better artist. And that means to be open to the idea that inspiration is everywhere, in everything. Now, how do you put this into practice? Well, that's actually really kind of simple, especially for those that are new to this idea. You carry around a notebook with you, and not a computer, not your phone, a notebook with pencil or pen. And when you see something that hits you in some manner, that inexplicable manner, that you just see something, you go, oh, I'm feeling something inside of me because of this. I don't know what it is, but there's something there that I have made a connection. Something inside of me has made a connection to. Take out that pad of paper and start writing. And in that writing, within that collection of words that you put down about what you just saw, something will happen. Inspiration will strike, and an idea will be brought forth. And it may not come to anything. That idea that you see that rusted tricycle on the sidewalk that's waiting for that might be waiting for trash to pick up. You see that, and it's got that bent wheel, and all of a sudden you're thinking that this little toy was abandoned, and in the abandoning of this toy, someone's childhood disappeared. And what did that do to that child? Innocence was drained away because a parent stole, or a parent took a tricycle from a child. That can lead to so many things. Just because you saw a tricycle that was waiting for trash pickup. Write that down. Sometimes what you see is not going to be as provocative as that, but you're going to see things outside. If you go outside in the big world where you've got to people, and we all know that peopling is really hard right now, but when you do go outside, take that pad of paper and pencil or pen with you, and every time you see something that you think, oh, it's giving me the feels. I don't know what those feels are, but it's giving me something. Pull out that paper and write. Even if it's just a sentence, a 2-sentence, paragraph, something that will remind you of what you saw, and that will possibly lead to you writing a story about it. Maybe not necessarily about that particular thing, but it will inspire an idea. It is absolutely and utterly, profoundly important that you develop that level of artistry as a writer. Because otherwise, if you're not allowing yourself to be open to that level of inspiration, what's going to happen is that you're going to just start regurgitating your previous ideas or rehashing ideas from other people. You don't want that. You want to be original. And you want your originality to come from an organic state. Does that make sense, Muse? It's how I do what I do. It's how I take what you give me and turn it into a collection of words that then form a story which create a book that I can sell. Just like Dracula Theory, which comes out a week from today. Yay. Excitement. Woohoo! Anyway, that's all I got for you today, Muse. Thank you for having this conversation with me. It means so much. Because without you, I don't know where I'd be. Because you, Muse, yes indeed, you are awesome.